Big deal. It's of the utmost importance to have good lighting. All right. Branding tip 101.
Yeah.
Have good lighting, which we're not sure if we do.
You can't sell the dream looking like a nightmare.
It does make you look younger and it beautifies you. Is beautify a word?
It is a word.
Because I feel I've been beautified today.
Oh, good for you, John.
So happy Money Monday, y'all. Hope everybody is having a great start to their week. Hope you all had a great weekend. Did you go anywhere? We went to the grocery store. That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we had masks on. And I would encourage you. I've been doing some research. People have been sending me stuff. Apparently, the mask wearing is of the utmost importance. So we couldn't find any masks. So we used bandanas/scarves as masks. So apparently that is the very important thing for us to do to, as they say, flatten the curve. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great Money Monday. And we've got a really great training in store for you. It's going to be really awesome because we have a whole slide deck training. So it won't just be us talking heads. We're actually going to go through some structured training, helping you build an influencer brand.
Yeah.
And can we tell our story real quick?
Well, before we do that, John, before we do that, you guys, as you're joining us live, whether you're joining us on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, we're in a couple different places on Facebook at the moment, and we're live on Instagram. Can you let us know where are you coming in from? If you're watching this on a replay, let us know what part of the world that you're in and what time it is for you right now. Also, if you know other people, other entrepreneurs, network marketers, feel free to share this broadcast. This is going to be a generic training. Today, I'm super psyched because like John said, it's going to be very much structured how to launch your influencer brand in 2020. We're going to help you get clarity on what your brand is all about. We're going to help you then think through how to amplify your impact. And then we're going to give you some guidance on, which direction to go, right? Because right now, there's so many different places that you can show up and project. So how do you build out a brand without getting so discouraged because you feel like you're behind? And trust me, if you feel like you're ever behind, welcome to the club, right? Because we can always be doing more, right? So we're super excited for this. I think this is going to be a very, very impactful, very powerful. So we're going to also be featuring your comments. We're using StreamYard, which we are now off this platform. So let us know where you're coming in from. And so here's what we're going to teach today, guys.
I wanted to ask a quick question too.
Okay.
For those of you that are personally building a brand right now, or you've been building a brand, I'd love for you to drop into the comments and maybe share a testimonial, share with the individuals watching. Because I know we have a lot of people that have already been developing their personal brand, building their online reputation, right? Building their social equity. So I would love for you to share maybe a little bit about how building a personal brand has helped you, how it's helped you build your business. Maybe multiple streams of income have been created because of building a personal brand. And by the way, if you're new to our page, you're new to following us, drop the word new in the comments and let us know maybe how you found our page, how you found our content. And I'd also like to say that at the end of this broadcast today, we're going to do a very special announcement/giveaway. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned till the very end. And throughout the broadcast, if you want to smash the heart button, if you want to share, we'll give some shout outs to those of you engaging and loving and sharing. And I think it'll be important for anybody that's building an online business, anybody wanting to launch a network marketing business, wanting to use social media to generate leads. That's kind of why we started building a personal brand back in 2013, because we were sick and tired of having to find people to talk to about our business. Like we were struggling, because we were doing cold market, we're buying leads, we're driving here, flying there, and we got so burnt out. And I felt like there has to be a better way. And I started hearing about building a personal brand, attraction marketing, how to generate leads online. And to me, that was exciting, not just because I could consistently find people that were actually interested in talking to me, or they were interested in hearing about what I had to offer, and we could create multiple streams of income. But the thing that really excited me is I could help people that were struggling. I could help people that maybe lived in a small town. I could help people that maybe had a small network, or they were like us when we first started out, right? We were 20 years old. Actually, you were 19 when you started in direct sales, right? I was 20 and I didn't have a lot of credibility. I didn't have a great network of people to pull from. Now, luckily, years later, I got into the mortgage industry where I made a lot of money. I became the #1 loan officer in a local mortgage company in Baltimore. So I built up my reputation. Now, that was an offline brand, if you will, but people got to know me. They saw me as a successful person. Versus when I first started in network marketing, I was the opposite. I was a failure, a loser, a troublemaker. Years later, when I got back into network marketing, it was so much easier because I had credibility. So this is the value in building a personal brand and finding ways to show up where you can give more than you ask in return. The more you give, the more you get. But the key to success is to give in
just to give.
Yeah. In the form of value, of content, right? Where you can show up with joy, generosity. It's not just like, giving money. Does that make sense? There's more to it than that. So let's get into it. I'm really excited, but yes, give to give, don't give to get. And maybe you got a little bit of toothpaste. You got a little bit of a lipstick on
toothpaste.
Lipstick on your teeth.
And how cool, you guys. I am watching all of you logging in from literally all over the world. This is so very cool. All right, you guys, welcome out. Thank you so much for sharing the broadcast. We appreciate it. Okay, so here's what we're covering today, right? Why personal branding is a must in 2020. 5 steps to identify your brand's DNA. How many of us just have a little bit of fog in our brain, right? Around what is my brand? And what happens for most of us, you guys, is we do tend to undervalue our own genius a lot of times. It's so easy for us to take a look at somebody else and say, well, of course, he rocks at this, or she's so good at that. But when it comes to our own brand, I do believe it's the toughest piece of the whole journey, because we tend to look at ourselves and we tend to pick ourselves apart. Now, today, we want to give you the 5 steps to get into identify your DNA. It's going to be really, really helpful for those of you that struggle with that. And we're going to teach you our best strategies to creatively launch your influencer brand. Now, before we dive in, you guys, I want to show you our slide deck. Stay tuned. This is going to be cool. So John last night took the liberty. Thank you, John. Of posting.
So proactive.
I know, right? Proactive. That's key to success. Okay. So what he did yesterday was he asked inside our My Lifestyle Academy mastermind community, what specifically do you struggle with? What questions do you have? And so let's talk about that.
So Christina Abbott says, this will be a great, I think she meant Money Monday. So how to blend branding and marketing so you don't seem to have an ulterior motive. I'd always have a tough time with that word. I had a tough time with that a couple weeks ago. This is honestly my hang up. Melissa says, I struggle with consistency. I struggle with figuring out what I have to offer people, what sets me apart from any other mom, wife, full-time worker. This is something I obviously need to figure out on my own. Maybe something you guys can say will help me. Basically, I need to know everything. Shayla says, how to narrow down your brand. I feel like I'm all over the board as far as a theme around my posting. Tammy says, when I'm looking for branding, is it about who I serve, what I love, or my personality? So these are all really great questions. Sherry says, when branding yourself, should you narrow down your focus to 3 areas of interest, or is 5 narrow enough? And here's what I want to say. A lot of us get, honestly, analysis paralysis. And we get so caught up on what a personal brand is, what we should talk about. And instead of doing something, we get paralyzed because we start, number 1, having limiting beliefs around what we can share, how we can serve people, and then what we should talk about. We don't show up consistently. And you have that special something that makes you uniquely you. And once you zoom in on it, that's when the magic happens. The more clarity you gain, the more powerful your personal brand will become. And it didn't happen overnight for us, but I would like to say we did have a foundation. And that's something that a lot of people don't consider. They compare their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 7. They look at someone else that's crushing it online. Their personal brand is blowing up. And you might feel like they're not that much further along than you. But the truth is, you don't know what price they paid prior to building their business and building their personal brand. I look at us. We started building a personal brand in 2013. But we were already in network marketing for over 12 years at that point. We had already been established 6-figure earners. So we chose to build our brand around network marketing, leadership development, building businesses, duplication. Don't think that you have to be a network marketing guru or a trainer of network marketing to build a personal brand. So I just want to make that distinction, because really building a personal brand can be anything. And even if you're not building a personal brand, you still have a personal brand.
Yeah. No, right now you may be saying, well, you guys, I don't have a personal brand. And that is for sure incorrect, right? If you're not proactively putting content out, I mean, essentially your personal brand is your reputation. The tricky part for most of us is we are just a little bit confused about how to magnify it and bring it forward online. Okay. So let's talk about it. Personal branding defines how you live and engage both personally and professionally. Let us not go ahead and try to separate, you know what I mean, your personal life from your professional life. And this is where I think that beautifully articulated balance is what's going to make your brand uber successful, right? We're going to talk about that. So when your personal brand is aligned with who you are, and then every moment of your life, both personally and professionally, is fulfilling, valued, and happy. Smash the heart button if you love that, because this for sure is what we kind of cycled our brand around. Do you know what I mean? How can we bring forward our giftings, our business, like what it is that makes us happy, like what makes our energies like uber attractive. And when you start to really showcase that, you guys, you're going to create success. And it's so important to understand that creating and maintaining a brand is an ongoing process. It's something that requires for you to show up again and again and again. We realize it may get scary. How many of you guys, right? You find it a little bit of a scary process, or a lot of a scary process, because it requires of you to be vulnerable. It requires for most of us to step it up and mess it up and to show up in, let's just call it like a little bit of a weakness of a skill set sometimes. I mean, for John and I, when we first started to build our brand, we heard this internet marketer say, well, listen, a video day gets lots of paychecks coming your way. However, we sucked at video, right? We sucked at it, but we had to make a decision that, you know what, we're going to take our audience on the journey with us, because here's how I see it today. Like John said, you have all of this genius inside of you. I believe that God made you so uniquely you and blessed you with this gorgeous set of answers, skill sets, whatever. And if you're not showing up and projecting that, like how selfish is that, right? How selfish is that? So let's show you this gorgeous graph. I'm very proud of this beautiful arrow that I'm gonna like just project my like whole training in this one graph here. Is that for some of us, we could really like clarify, right? So we're gonna walk you through the 5 steps to help you clarify your genius and kind of like where to get started, right? But also then realizing that it's gonna just have to happen like you play a sport. You're not gonna get good at it by just thinking about it in your head. We're gonna have to step it up, but we have to start with something. So we'll go through those exercises. Number 2, some of us, we are ready to now amplify our impact. Amplify our impact. We're going to bring you value in that area. Definitely. I am excited already. Okay. And then of course, you're going to go into this crush mode, baby. What can you say about the crush mode?
I love the crush mode, because eventually you get to a point where you start crushing it in your business. Maybe you start launching other streams of income, one thing at a time. We had this conversation with a small group on Saturday. We did a mastermind training for one of our teams. And I talked about establishing one platform, establishing one business. The one challenge I sometimes see with online entrepreneurship, a lot of times you see people jumping into different businesses all the time. They're launching this, they're launching that. They're trying to promote this program. And then they're off to the next shiny penny. And, they get overwhelmed because they're trying to do it all. Meaning you don't need to launch a podcast, a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a TikTok account. You don't need to launch it all in 30 days, 60 days, or even 90 days. Don't bite off more than you can chew. But I really like to point this out as well, because sometimes I think we get so fixated on having to already be an established success story.
Yep.
And Alexandra and Landy, thank you for sharing. Paulina, thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the love. What's up, Dave Bergman? You the man. So good morning, Carly. So I just want to point this out because I see sometimes people think they have to already be successful and credible to build a brand, and that's not true. How many of us would have thought it would have been pretty cool to see like Mark Zuckerberg and his, dorm mates and his buddies in college when they first were building Facebook, for them to be documenting the entire time? Like, how powerful would that have been to follow their journey from start to finish and seeing what they accomplished and what they went through every day? You sometimes feel like you're not where you need to be to start putting out content. And the truth is, you're more relatable when you're new. And think about this. Let's say that I share the exact same piece of content that Tony Robbins shares, but I can respond to comments. I can engage with people that message me. And I'm pretty busy. My inbox is insane. I get a lot of traffic on my stuff, but still I'm not too big to respond to people. Tony might be. Oprah Winfrey, she's probably not going to engage on your comments, right? If you drop The Rock a message on IG, he's probably not going to respond. But the truth is, all of us, we can build our own micro influencer brand. You don't have to have 100,000 followers to make $100,000. You don't have to have 100,000 followers to make an impact. You could have 500. Isn't it interesting that back in the day, I want to put something, how many of you have been in network marketing since the days of making a list of 100 people? How many of you remember those days? I remember back in the day, it was like, man, if you make a list of 100 people and you sign up 20 of those people, would you be excited?
Yeah.
What about 10 people? They're like, yeah, that 10 people, 10 people on my team, that'd be amazing. I'm like, great, you got to go get 90 no's. And it's like, oh, well, that's a different perspective. That was based on a list of 100 people. Nowadays, it's very rare that someone gets started in a home business and they have less than 100 friends. Now, some people do, but most people have over 100 contacts in their cell phone, their Facebook, their Instagram, and they feel like, oh, I only have 100 followers. I only have 100. Remember how hard it was for someone to write down 100 names and numbers? We used to have to
we've come a long way.
Yeah, we used to have to say to them, listen, what if I gave you $1,000 a name? How many people would you write down? People would be like, oh, I'd write down the person I met this morning at the gas station. Like they would write down everybody because I'm giving them $1,000 a name. And for some reason, we got away from that mindset of understanding that literally you don't need to have a massive following to make a massive impact. And here's the truth. If you have 50,000 followers, a small percentage of them are seeing your stuff anyway. So it's about the relationships you build on the back end. It's about that one-on-one engagement. That's how you build a micro influencer brand. You don't need 100,000 followers to make $100,000.
I love it. Okay. All right. That was a great, beautifully orchestrated mindset session.
So let's get into step one, knowing thyself.
I love it. I love it. Okay, you guys, let's talk about it. So the first thing we got to do for those of us that really need some clarity around what the heck is my personal brand, right? So the first thing is we got to get to the bottom line around what are those initial lessons that you already have, skill sets that you have, what are those passions that you have. Now, I'm going to cycle back to handle the objection of, well, what if I'm like 18 years old and I'm just getting started?
Right.
Like, I don't know what that is. For most of us, we do have life experience. We have business experience. We have those things already going on. So what do you care most about? I want you to maybe even think about when you go out with your favorite girlfriend, what are the different topics that you guys cycle around?
Ooh, that's good.
What are those questions that people ask you that you can't even help yourself, but you just kind of like, you have all this passion come over your body, or you're interested in a certain topic, right? So I want you to right now pick out from this list here. So I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and take a look at it, right? So what are some things that you really love to talk about? Now, I'll tell you this. When John and I first started to build our personal brand, I asked myself this question. I said, what are the different areas of our life where we created results or success? Now, listen, you don't have to be in the top 1% of that particular field or whatever, but there's areas of your life where you've maybe had a struggle and then you learned a skill set and now you're really proficient at it.
Right.
And I do want to remind you this too, when you are good at something, right, or it comes natural to you, quote unquote, you then take it for granted and you forget that there's like so many people out there that would love to know what you know, right? Okay, so drop those couple of ideas into the chat so I can give you guys a couple of examples maybe of other people that have the clarity, right? But listen, don't also become like too obsessed over it, right? Just pick whatever 5 words that come at you, and then you're going to start with that. Because step 2, we're now going to, get feedback, right? And feedback is going to come from 2 different directions, essentially. And the first type of feedback is you're going to start to notice your energy when you talk about the thing. I'll give you an example. One of those skill set that I wrote down, do you remember? I'm like, baby, like we have this great marriage. Like, why don't we talk about it? And our favorite tips for marriage. And y'all, I'm telling you to do what we did. I go, okay, let's put that into action right away. And we did a couple of videos where we talked about, like power tips.
It was awkward
for couples and like, oh, let's talk about marriage secrets.
I was yawning through my nose.
And so was I. And we noticed, even though like we kind of like have created this thing, but it's not our area of passion to turn around and teach, but we integrated our relationship into topics like business and marketing and personal branding. Does it make sense?
Right.
So yes. Okay. So take a screenshot of this.
It's cool. Look, Estee says art, singing, special needs, inspiration. Anthony says personal growth, inspiring others. Christy says inspiring others, courage. Stephanie's into horses, dogs, muscle cars. I love it. That's awesome. Cool. Betty's into design, right? So you start racking your brain. It's kind of like in network marketing, there's a memory jogger, right? So this is to give you some clarity on what are you into? What are you all about? Who are you? And you can start showing up with these particular topics. Now we'll dive deeper, but I think this is a great place to start.
I love it. Okay. Now, you guys, we have a free 5-day branding challenge where we help you. Actually, we created like this questionnaire too, to help you kind of like jog your memory, jog your skill set, jog your passions. Because what happens too, when you kind of put like your pen to paper, right, you're able to see it more clearly. How many of us have ever done a brain dump? It's so very effective because you're able to take stuff out of your brain, dump it on paper, and it's like magnificent what happens, because then you're able to actually like catch a bird's eye view logic wise, and you go, wow, like these things continue to come up for me. So I'm just going to start with putting value out there around these keywords. And then listen, you're going to figure it out and fine tune it as you go. Okay. So jot down this website. Essentially, we created like this free course for you. It's really cool. We have some really cool resources for you. Essentially, for 5 days, we help you go through and help you identify and get going. So mylifestyleacademy.com/brand. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about this, right? So what if you already created tangible results? Now in network marketing, I know most of us, right? We have a network marketing business that happens to be like 95% of our audience, because John and I, we are obsessed. We could be biased when we say that's like the most leveraged form of making money, right? And being in business. Okay. So let's say inside your network marketing business, listen, you don't have to be a top earner or a top producer to create video content or content period. If you've created a result of getting 3 customers, do you realize most people in the industry haven't done that yet? So this is what I'm talking about, right? Where we sometimes undervalue what we've done results wise. And it could be something as small as signing up your very first teammate. Do you know what I mean? Or you taking a look at what have you done inside your business? What have you done inside your family? Maybe you're a great cook, whatever it is, right? So if you've created tangible results, you can show up and share how you did it Easy, right? If you're just starting out, then you can show up as a reporter. I love that. You can report on other people's successes. You can do interviews. Plus, you can learn new things and teach your aha moments. So, for an example, 2 weekends ago, we ran a boot camp. How many of you guys were with us there, right? Social marketing and recruiting boot camp with Tanya Liza. And what we encourage people to do throughout the boot camp is, hey, let's say day one, let's identify your top 2 takeaways and then go ahead and go live and share your top 2 takeaways that you learned from today. So you're like taking people on the journey with you as you're learning something, and then you can take it a step further. And this is what I found for me. I get super enthused. I don't know if you can feel my energy, but I love to learn new things, and then I love to instantly integrate those things into my workflows. I like to get some kind of result, like, did it work for me? Did it not work for me? And then I like to turn around and teach, right? Or you could obviously do both. You guys, it's so very easy nowadays to create content. If you just wrap your head around that and you recognize the fact that you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be top 1% of whatever field in order to make a difference.
Right. And it's interesting too, because in the beginning, we kind of did that. We were sharing like our experiences. We were sharing what we were learning. We weren't sure what was going to hit or what was going to be most effective.
Yeah.
But when we felt like, man, that was a really interesting tip, story, example, that was a great book. Here were my biggest takeaways. We went to this seminar and, we would share our notes with people. And I think one of the first people I heard say this was Ray Higdon, right? He talks about invest, learn, teach. You invest time or money into learning something, you turn around and teach it. And then you actually feel like you're learning it by turning around and teaching it more than you did when you just heard the information.
Yeah.
And then the other person I heard say something along the lines of learn, earn, return. I don't remember who it was, but I thought that was really good because sometimes you learn something, you implement, you get a result, you earn some money, you turn around, return what it is you did to create the result. So it's not that complicated.
Awesome. All right. Step 2, you're going to get feedback, right? Get feedback. You can turn to your closest friends and ask them questions like, hey, if you had to describe me in a couple of words or phrases, what would they be? Is there anybody famous or successful I remind you of? That's super cool, you guys. That's a really actionable step that you can take for those of us that are really struggling on step 1. If you suffer from perfectionitis of step 1, I say you outsource. That's my go-to strategy too. Anytime I feel like I'm stuck and I can't come to a decision or whatever, I instantly go, okay, I got to take it off my plate and put it on somebody else's plate real fast. So this is a really, really gorgeous strategy for you guys to get that clarity, right? Okay. So then step 3 is you want to find the sweet spot. Now we got to get to work. So now that you got a little bit of like meat on the bone, you got those keywords or whatever. Now we got to turn around and put those nuggets in front of your audience. We got to put them in front of the audience. And 2 things that you're looking for is you're looking for your own energy when you talk about those things, those keywords in a sense. And then you're also looking to see how your audience responds.
Right.
Now, if your question right now is, well, you guys, where should I go and project my golden nuggets, all this genius? I am always going to recommend for you that you show up to a platform right now that has the most amount of traction for you, So for us, we started out on Facebook. We just started on our personal profile because that's kind of where our biggest network was, Now, for those of you that are building multiple platforms, you can leverage tools nowadays. Like for an example, right now, you guys, let me just give you an example of what I'm doing at the moment is we're using StreamYard, which is really cool. It's a tool that allows you to essentially stream to multiple platforms at the same time. So if you have multiple platforms that are pretty established, it's awesome that you don't have to essentially repeat the same conversation, right? And we know that when you show up live, these platforms are going to give you in a sense, red carpet, right? Because you're live. People tend to watch live video 3 times longer than they're going to watch like a replay or something like that. So right now we're streaming live on 5 places, and I set up my phone. I don't know if you guys can see that. Check it out. I set up my phone too, because recently I've diversified my efforts over to TikTok as well. And on TikTok, once you get to 1,000 followers or more, you can go live on TikTok, which is cool. So now with TikTok, I don't know if you know this, but it's not like Instagram, where if you go live on Instagram, you can actually then, save it to like your story and people can go back and watch it for 24 hours. On TikTok, there's no replay.
Right.
So once you're done with the broadcast, it's done.
Right.
And I honestly right now don't see the value of going live solely for TikTok. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a cool way to like double, triple, quadruple your efforts already and get you that like omnipresence feel, right?
And to be clear, StreamYard is for video, live video.
Yes.
So I had someone ask me like, oh, what's the platform where you post and it goes everywhere? That's you. I wouldn't recommend using tools like that. But what you could do is when you post something on Facebook, you could post the same thing on LinkedIn, post the same thing on Twitter, or you can post something on another platform or in your Insta or Facebook story and see how it does. And then depending on how it does, you could then use that for your main news feed. So just some different ideas to kind of test and tweak, because you never really know what's going to hit. TikTok is a great example of that. You can do a video that you think is going to go viral and it gets very little views and engagement. Then you do a video that like you're just messing around and having fun and it gets 100,000 views. You're like, really? So it's a great thing to always test and tweak and kind of figure out, like Nadya says, your different brand elements.
Well, we haven't identified.
Oh, okay. Well, I was hoping we could get into it. It's really getting into the strengths of your communication ability. Like for me, I love video. Right. But I know people that they don't love doing videos. They would rather write. And would you agree, how many of us know people, we follow people that are more creative, or we follow people that are better at telling stories, or we follow people that are better at videos that are pre-recorded versus their live videos maybe aren't as great. So you have to figure out, what are you, like Nadya said, what are your strengths? What are the things that give you energy? How do you like to show up? When you're sharing your message, when you're putting yourself out there. And by the way, sometimes we get a little caught up on what we should talk about and how we should show up. And the truth is, you're not going to know when you're in your head. It's like a sport. Like if I try to analyze whether I'd be good at baseball or basketball, I'm never going to know. I got to pick up the ball and play. Right. The challenge is we get caught up in comparing ourselves like we're brand new at a sport. We're just getting started. And we're comparing ourselves as this like 7-year-old kid that's just starting out to play a certain sport, volleyball. And we're comparing ourselves to like a senior in high school. And we're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't have the skills and the ability. And it's like, yeah, but they've been playing since they were your age, but it's been years of them perfecting and developing the skills. So it's the same thing here. All right. So your brand elements are what will make you stand out from the crowd. And this could be your beliefs. This could be your mission statement. You might have a niche market that you're best at communicating with. I love when people go out there and they start their own personal Facebook group. They go out there and start a business page, but none of that should start. You shouldn't start there.
And this is why it's step 4.
Right.
And we just point that out
exactly.
Because I think there's the big mistake that people make sometimes is they go into, let me create a logo. Let me build a website. Let me do all these things. And that should be step number 4, after you've gained that clarity, right? On what are those passions that you love talking about. Now you're like getting clarity on what your audience is all about. Your ideal, like as Chalene Johnson would say, who are your lifers, right? And let's find that beautiful sweet spot. So like that's step 3. Once you got that clarity, it's so cool.
Right.
Because then people also go, well, how do I like monetize my personal brand? You guys, I'm telling you, when you go through steps 1, 2, and 3, monetization becomes so easy too, because now you're developing that trust with your people, and your people now come to you going, hey, wait, how do you do this? Or can you help me with that? And then it's just about listening and then providing solutions, right? So step 4, yes, focus on your brand elements. At this point, you're going to have that clarity, and you can fancy up your delivery at this point too. Like, for an example, when you guys see our brand today, I mean, this is 7 years in development, right? But we started out ugly. And I do want to tell you this, that today we live in such an over-branded world that for those of us that are just getting started, that can seem so intimidating. But I promise you, the most important thing you got to do right now when building your personal brand is showing up with content. That's it. Step 5, you commit to the process. Where will you be a year from now? Hopefully your answer is going to be serving my audience, right? 2 years from now, listen, it took us 7 years to crack 6 figures inside the network marketing profession. And then another 9 years, or is it 8 years to crack 8 figures?
It took 16 years total for us to get to 6 figures a month.
Right.
So it's not going to happen overnight. But again, we all start somewhere.
In 2013, that's when we made the decision that, you know what, we're going to show up consistently. We're going to take our people on a journey with us. And how many of you, if you've been following us for a while, you've just watched us evolve, right? You watch us evolve. And it's very encouraging because you go, oh my gosh, if these guys can do it, I'm totally going to crush it, you know? And I got to tell you this, that once we made that shift from doing what we do from belly to belly, up until 2013, all of our business was belly to belly, right? And think about in business and in marketing, money follows eyeballs. So if you're only doing what you're doing when somebody's physically there with you, that's going to limit your income potential. But the minute you shift your mindset to showing up belly to many, now it's going to take time to
build right now audience. You have to. Right now you have to. It's interesting.
Well,
it's interesting because so many of us are quarantined, right? We're at home anyway. So why not double down on this? Why not do the 5-day branding challenge? It's a free challenge. Why not start doing something that you're uncomfortable doing? It's like Brene Brown says best. I love the quote, so I keep using it.
I know.
Choose courage over comfort. And some of you are so worried about judgment. You're so concerned about what other people will think of you. Who cares what they think? They don't pay your bills. And at the end of the day, when you build a personal brand, when you go out there and start generating leads, when you build a following and your business blows up, they're all going to be like, wow, that's amazing. Look what you accomplished. I'm so proud of you. You're like, really? You're proud of me? Because you were one of the ones naysaying on me. You were one of the ones hating on me. And you know what? If you get people hating on you, tag me. I'll go ahead and light them up for you. All right. Because you're doing something that you are worthy of doing. You deserve success. Each and every one of us has technology at our fingertips.
That's right.
All of you could do a TikTok video today that goes viral. All of you could show up on Facebook Live and share your story. It doesn't need to be an hour-long video. It could be 5 minutes, right? All of you could put out an Instagram story. All of you could do a YouTube channel, right? Each and every one of you can go out there and start building your brand. You just have to get over your damn self. It ain't about you. Who can you help? How can you make a difference? Who can you inspire? And if you start showing up with that mindset that it's not about you, it's about giving versus getting, it's about providing solutions, it's about being a human first and a marketer second, I don't have to worry about generating leads. I don't have to worry about finding people to talk. I can't keep up with the amount of business I have. I can't keep up with the momentum in our business. I can't keep up with the amount of people that follow me, friend request me, reaching out to me, because we decided to start showing up with authenticity, sharing our story, sharing our perspective. It was super awkward in the beginning. We didn't know what the heck we were going to talk about, right? My first day of vlogging, I did 5 videos that day, 1 minute to 2 minutes. I uploaded 5 1 to 2 minute videos on Facebook. My phone was like, you could see up my nostrils, right? I had these big gaudy sunglasses on. I was driving a car while I was doing some of these videos. But you know what? We all start somewhere. Version 1.0 is better than version 0.0, as Brendan Burchard says. Marketers that create original content get about 8 times more traffic than those who don't.
Cool.
So when you start showing up, and by the way, in the beginning, you could do reviews of books, reviews of podcasts. You could start showing up with, things that you're learning, like we talked about. It doesn't have to be that like you are an expert. In fact, that is less relatable. You know why people don't reach out to me? Because they're intimidated or because they think I'm too busy. So the truth is, when you first start out, people will be more willing to share their opinion. And some of those opinions will be negative. You just can't care. That is God testing you. How bad do you want it? 61% of people's buying decisions are influenced by a marketer's custom content.
Cool.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Right? You think about that when you start showing up. And by the way, part of the reason you're not generating sales is because you're always selling. Isabel, thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. Those of you that are sharing, that are tagging people, let us know in the comments. We'll give some shout outs. But I think that's such an important conversation. Those of you that aren't making sales, it's because you're doing too much selling. You got to provide more value than you ask in return. You're trying to withdraw from an empty bank account.
Yeah.
So in other words, you need to be creating original, valuable, and engaging content. Now let's talk about how. But again, we are going to do a big announcement at the end of this.
And a big giveaway.
And a big giveaway. So I think you guys are going to be really excited about what we're doing. Anyway.
All right, cool. So you guys take a screenshot of this. This is really good because ultimately you also want to discern which format or which modality of creating content is more comfortable for you in the beginning. Now, if you're serious about becoming a micro influencer or even a macro influencer, I say that text, image, video, you got to master all of those things.
Yeah.
Now, what's really cool, you can also, outsource some of it. Like for an example, like John said, for us, the easiest way to show up and bring value is to do live video. We're not even fans of pre-recorded videos, to be honest with you.
Well, unless it's TikTok.
Unless it's TikTok. Yeah.
Or YouTube.
Yeah. So, but usually live video, it's just easier for both of us. So what we've done now is we brought on, like, a part of our virtual team, we have a ghostwriter, and Alex, what she does, her job is to take our video content and put it into written format. And that could be smaller, like IG captions, it's going on the blog, right? So as you become more established and you get clarity, again, what your brand is, what your value is, it's really, really cool what you can do. Okay. Now, you guys take a screenshot of this. I love it.
Can I just say one thing with what you just mentioned?
Yeah.
I just want to really break down the simplicity of what you just said.
Do you want me to go back on that slide?
Not necessarily, just one thing.
Okay.
You could literally do a live video and use that video to repurpose the exact video you just did for IGTV, for LinkedIn, for Instagram. Like maybe you pull some quotes, or you could use it for an email. The point is, you can really get creative, not right now. For some of you, you're not ready for this, but down the road, that's an exciting part of this, is that you can create content that you repurpose that lives on different platforms forever. So that's a really powerful aspect of creating content, is that you can use it for multiple reasons and multiple platforms. So I just wanted to kind of point that out because I think that's so huge.
That's cool. Okay. And then here, for those of you that are struggling with, well, I don't know which type of, platform maybe, or what type of modality of video is good for me. Well, this will help you. This, yes, no, maybe so, right? And you start, and then the key to success there is you continue to expand your arsenal, if you will, because it also is the secret to growing your confidence, right? A lot of us, we struggle with confidence piece. In the beginning, it's like you just have to continue to show up over and over and over again, and you're developing the competency. And what you'll find is, as you become more competent in your voice, right? You now identify your 1, 2, 3s, ABCs, your systems. The more you talk about it, the more confident you become, the more you are like postured in what you teach, right? It's a process. It's going to take time. And then as you then start to add on or tack on different modalities of the way that you project that message, it's going to just turn you into like this Wonder Woman of wisdom, right? But it's a process. Okay,
or Superman.
Next. Or Superman. I like it. All right. So for those of you guys that joined us a little late, we promoted the fact that we have our 5-day branding challenge where over the course of 5 days, we help you with clarity questions, clarity exercises, with little bites of training, if you will, to help you get to the bottom line of what is that unique proposition, your unique voice, what is that brand that we need to start projecting now. You can go and register for free, mylifestyleacademy.com/brand. Okay.
Yeah, take a screenshot of that real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
For those of you online.
You guys, now I do want to teach you a couple of ideas that are essentially creative ideas to help you launch your influencer brand. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? So tip number 1 for you, okay? And we already touched on this, but this is where I think most people are underestimate the power of this. Tip number 1 is you have to show up consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it, right? We've seen in our career, let's just call it online, our online marketing career, we've seen so many people come and go. They get excited, they get fired up about this concept, they show up for a certain period of time, and then they go away.
Yeah, they get discouraged easily because their expectation was to get fast results.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what I love. Tony Robbins, he talks about this.
Yeah.
This is what I love about being in network marketing and being in business. I know that most of my competition won't last.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad to say, but it's true. Most people won't continue to show up because they'll get discouraged.
Yeah.
They'll quit. They'll say it's not worth it. And the truth is the average business takes 3 to 5 years to turn a profit. 90% of them never make it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to understand it's the same thing when building a personal brand. You got to show up and look, maybe you're not getting great engagement. You're not getting a lot of views on your videos. But the truth is in the beginning, I mean, I'm thankful my videos didn't get a lot of views in the beginning because they sucked. They were horrible. Like they're fun to go back and look at now.
It serves as comedic value now.
Yeah, exactly. Like it embrace the suck.
Yeah.
You understand?
Please do.
And you know what? It's painful for us sometimes to show up on other platforms because the engagement is so much less than it is over here on Facebook or over on this platform, that platform. But we all start somewhere. The key to success is to continue to show up, even when you're not getting a lot of views, even when it doesn't seem like it's working, because you will be shocked what you can accomplish in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. People overestimate what they can do in 12 months.
Yep.
They totally underestimate what they can do in 5 to 10 years.
I agree. Tip number 2, embrace being perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
So this has been a journey for me, y'all. I'm going to level with you. It's not been easy at all. Like I legitimately, my biggest struggle is I'm such a perfectionist.
No.
I am such a perfectionist. Yes. So, and I struggle with, okay, we need to execute with the spirit of excellence, but then there's also this, the perfectionitis thing, right? So here's
perfection is boring. You taught me that.
No, for sure. I agree with you. Yes. And you know what we would do, because the two of us, we do a lot of videos together, and then I come really prepared. Let me give you my biggest pet peeve. Yes. So I have the schedule. I go, baby, let me review with you what we're about to teach our favorite people. We're going to like teach them 1, 2, 3, ABC. Math used to be my minor in college, y'all. Okay. So now we know. And then we're supposed to go according to the schedule. And John goes off into a new land that was undiscovered prior to us going live. It's
true. But you know what? People loved it. It was, like Nadya says, comedic value. People would crack up at the fact that I'm all over the place, right? I'm like a bull in a china shop. I got all these ideas and thoughts, and my videos are way longer than they should be. She wants structure. Or the best part is she wants me to say specific
I have a vision in my mind.
And I say something totally different. She's like, baby, no, we're not there yet. That's not what I want you to. She wants me to read her brain. Yeah. But this is the beauty of authenticity and live videos and just having fun with it. But the truth is, a lot of us struggle with this.
Yeah.
Perfectionitis is just such a dagger in building a business, because you're never going to have perfection anyway. Yeah. So get over your darn self.
Please
show up, have fun with it, laugh at yourself, and realize you're going to get better over time. You know, if you were to watch our videos right now, you probably say, well, I felt like that was a perfect video, perfectly structured. It all made sense. But you know how it is. You're your own worst critic.
Yeah.
Right. So you beat yourself up, and perfectionitis is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
So you just have to say, you know what? I'm going to do my best, But even if I make mistakes, I miss some things, who cares? Nobody really knows anyway, by the way. We used to say that when we would do presentations, right? We would do a presentation and we would forget like the cost to get started. And afterwards, it's like, oh my gosh, I missed this. I forgot to say that. The only people that know you missed something are you and maybe a couple of your upline. It's the same thing with showing up with video, putting out content. And you know what? If you really bomb it, the beauty is you can always delete it. However, we do encourage you not to delete it because you'll go back later and you can laugh at yourself.
I love it.
And it's actually inspiring to share your old videos and your old posts to people that have been following you for years, or they just started following you and they're like, oh, okay, so you started out ugly just like I'm starting out today.
Yeah.
So it's really inspirational to start off with the mistakes and the ugly, but you just do the dang thing anyway. So I hope you all are getting value from this. And you're loving this. It looks like you are. Smash the heart button.
I love it.
And remember,
I'm loving
we
it.
got a special giveaway at the end.
I think
and I'd like to say one other thing.
Helping me too.
We will answer some questions at the end. I've seen a lot of questions come through. So those of you that are going to stay till the end, we're going to reward you by answering those specific questions, because I know I could talk about this all day, but you probably have specific questions you want answered. So let's just get through the content and we'll do just that.
Okay, cool. All right. Idea number 3 for you. Okay. To creatively launching your influencer brand in 2020. Listen, don't yell.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one.
I do too. I do. And here I want to teach you the 50-50 ratio. So if you're going to show up and do a live broadcast, you're going to take 15 minutes to talk about stuff. I would recommend you take at least 15 minutes to then engage with the comments, listen to the feedback, right? Answer the specific questions, because what happens is that's when truly you're developing those lifers for your brand, that personal touch. I think a lot of times we just a little bit undervalue. We a little bit like sometimes forget. So we gotta get in the niches. We gotta get off the stands and get into the stands with the fans and talk to them.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Number 4, be a community builder.
Yeah, I think this is a big one. You know,
that's a good one.
We built our My Lifestyle Academy Facebook group back in like 2014, I believe we launched.
We started, baby.
Yeah, and okay. So that group has grown to over 30,000 network marketers and online entrepreneurs. Inside of that group, we have free training and the units and PDFs and all the point is we created community, right? We built a following, and a community is different than just an individual showing up. And what I mean by that is if you build a Facebook group or you build something of a following, right? It's a thing of beauty when you have other ambassadors of your brand. You have other people participating in the community. And I'm not just talking about a Facebook group, but it's a great example of building community, building a deeper connection in relationship with the people that are following you, that are friends with you, the people that are engaging with you. So how can you build that community? How can you show up and build a deeper connection and a relationship with those individuals? And there's a lot of ways to do it. There's not just like this one way to do it, but that's really, when you're building a following, it needs to feel like an online community, a safe place. And I think that's part of the reason we've had so much success, because we're speaking the language of our audience, which is why our audience continues to plug in. We continue to generate new followers. We're continuing to show up for that community. We didn't know what it was going to look like in the beginning, but we knew that we had something to share. And even when we lacked confidence or we weren't really sure, there's a lot of uncertainty, kind of like there is in the world today, right? We didn't know what it was going to look like, but we knew that this was the direction we wanted to go in, because we thought long term, if we built a community, it's people that knew us, trusted us, were sharing our stuff, loved on our stuff, and we were loving on them. I love the quote by Gary Vaynerchuk. He says, why do you love your parents? Because they loved you first. So how can you love on the people that follow you, that engage with you and make an impact in their life, so that they want to engage with you forever? They want to follow you forever. They want to be a part of your world forever. And you know what? Some of those people, maybe about 10%, on average, it's about 10%. They're going to buy from you, partner with you. They're going to reach out and want more from you. And that's what I wanted to create, because I was sick of having to chase people and do the home meetings and 3-foot rule it, right? Anybody within 3 feet, I'm going to prospect them. And I started feeling like over time that I had commission breath. that I was always trying to find an angle to recruit people. I was always trying to find an angle to close people because I needed to hit my quotas. I needed to hit a rank. I needed to make money. And when I made it about we, and when I made it about you versus me and that's when we started crushing it online. So anyway, I could go on and on about this all day long.
All right. And idea number 5 for you all is what we call outsource your omnipresence. And we touched a little bit on that, right? Because once and this happens after you get clarity on what your brand is all about. So you start with platform 1. So choose your main platform and show up consistently.
Yeah.
And I would say play with your different modalities. Play with doing video, play with doing pre-recorded versus live, versus text, versus picture. Just have fun with it. Marketing, it's a science and an art, right? So just play with it and then start to notice, I really love the way that I did this. Do more of what you love. Do more of what really resonates with your audience. And then do less of what maybe didn't work or pivot a little bit, right? And then as you get one platform dialed in and you get your marketing dialed in and your lead gen and all those good things, we're not going to talk specifically about that. We have more training on that, right? But here's what's cool. Once you get one platform dialed in, you can then diversify and do some of the strategies that we talked about, maybe bringing on like a virtual assistant or bringing on a tool like StreamYard, but now you can stream to multiple places, right? Or you can just set up 2 different phones at the same time and you go live, right? Just keep kind of like challenging yourself because, success lives outside of your comfort zone. I like to say that. John, do you like to say that too?
I do like to say that, Nadya Melton.
Oh, thank gosh. All right, you guys. So let's do this. We want to do a really cool giveaway. How many of you guys would want to have free access? This is actually one of our newest academies, Video and Branding Academy, where we help you discover your brand, deliver your message to the world through the power of video. So we're going to give that free entry. How many people do you want to do this giveaway with?
Let's pick
John?
3. So those of you that are
all right
sharing the broadcast, drop the word shared if you already did, or if you're going to now. You can tag teammates, right? Tag anybody you want. If we see you tagging people, sharing, or your biggest takeaway, we could do that as well. We'll have Rebecca Mancini. You'll be the first winner because you were the first one to say shared.
Hang on, Rebecca. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Stay tuned.
All right. So Rebecca Mancini, you're the first winner. All right. Rebecca. So we're going to tell each winner what to do once we pick the 3. So Video and Branding Academy, like you can see here on the screen, you could showcase your unique personal brand, download lead generation video strategy, dominate your Facebook live broadcast, start, don't stop, TikTok and mastering pre-made videos, your personal brand discovery guide, video growth guide for optimal lead generation,
and this is
PDFs.
Just a snippet. There's like a lot. There's more.
Right. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But the point is, we're going to give away this whole program to 2 more people.
Denise.
Rebecca is the first winner. Denise Peterson.
Yeah,
boom,
Denise.
Third winner. Now let's do a countdown for the third one. Let's do a countdown.
Right.
So far we got 2 winners. We're going to pick 1 more. You're going to get access to the program for free. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't see a share. Vicky Frank. Boom. Okay, so Vicky Frank.
Where do you see that?
I saw Vicky Frank. It just disappeared. I know I saw it. Hold on. There it is. Boom. Vicky Frank, you'll be the 3rd winner. Okay, so the 3 of you shoot an email to support@mylifestyleacademy.com. Support@mylifestyleacademy.com. So Denise, Vicky, and Rebecca, shoot an email and let our support team know that you are the winner of the Video and Branding Academy. We'll give you free access. And here's the other thing. We're going to do something very special because we want to give back.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of you know this, but we donated $25,000 at Tony Robbins' birthday party celebration. Basically a VIP seat at his birthday party concert was $25,000, but it all went to charity. So we love giving back. We did $25,000 for Operation Underground Railroad. Just last week, we did a $10,000 donation. Well, we did 10 families got $1,000 that were in a bad place because of this virus and the pandemic and everything that's going on with the economy. We love giving back. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is this is big picture. This is what you can do long-term if you build a brand, you build a business, you create success, you can give back and pour into others. And here's what we're going to encourage you to do. Give back, pour into others. And here's how you can do it right now. What we're going to do, that Video and Branding Academy program that you just saw, right now we're going to offer that essentially for free, but with a $25 donation. So essentially, if you go to mylifestyleacademy.com/special, you donate $25. So this is all going to charity. Every $25 is going to go to a charity. You will get access to this program. So you donate the $25, you get access to the Video and Branding Academy, essentially for a $25 donation. We're not getting anything, so we're giving it away for free, but with that $25. So this program is worth a lot more than $25. You are going to be floored by the value, the content. I mean, the stories that we've gotten over the years from helping people build a brand and put out video content. It's been one of our biggest motivators is to go out there and inspire and impact people to build a brand. And again, you can get this program literally right now for $25, and all of the money's going to charity. So we're not making
so you can feel good about it. And yes, that's going to give you lifetime access. So you can get lifetime access to it. Really cool. Oh, I love it. Okay. So you guys, for those of you that are going to go enroll, let us know. What's the link says, Michaela?
Right there on the screen.
Yeah. Can you see it here? mylifestyleacademy.com/special. So we're going to run this promotion for, do you want to just do through today?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So if you're watching this on a replay, right, just, take fast action, y'all. This academy is amazing.
Kristen, yes, lifetime access to the program, correct, Nadya?
Yes.
Yeah.
Already.
And you'll get access to our MLA students community. That's where we run video challenges, and that's where all of our students, all
Kristen,
of our courses.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, feel free if you know anybody.
Says she's gonna enroll to help others. Thank you, guys. As a community, we want to make a big impact, right? So feel free to promote this. By the way, if you know anybody that right now is trying to get clarity on, okay, how do I build a brand? How do I use video? How do I monetize? How do I generate leads? How do I use TikTok for business, baby. Right? Woo! So that academy is amazing. And wait till you see the PDF downloads. Just that PDF that, we showed you guys. Hang on, let me go back real quick. This one on helping you, your personal brand discovery guide, PDF and quiz, your video growth guide, PDF plus quiz. Like those documents, we spend so much time with our team to help you just kind of like get that quick route to the bottom line of your goodness. We help you get it all dialed in. And then we teach you, okay, here's the formula to show up on TikTok. Here's how you show up on live video. This is how you generate leads. Here's different examples of CTAs. Here's different ideas on the type of videos to create. Like it's so methodical, yet we keep it really simple, right? Like I think also because we've been through so many courses and we personally, you guys, I don't know if you know this about us, but over the last 6 years, we've invested over $400,000 on our online marketing and social media education. We continue to do that monthly. So that way we are in the loop on what is happening right now, what is working right now. We continue to implement, and then we turn around and teach it to you. And because I've been through so much training where it's like, oh my gosh, can you just get to it? Can you just delete the
rah-rah and the fluff
and just like give it to me.
Too many stories.
In the most concise.
Tell me what to do.
Like give me a shortcut.
And I want to recognize Leanne Romine. She just signed up. That's awesome. Tangerine, thank you for sharing. If there were some questions also that you guys had that maybe something we touched on or something you'd like clarity on, feel free to ask. But yeah, we're excited to make a difference and offer this program.
Thank you, Steve.
For charity. going to share with the team. Yeah, I would recommend, hey, share it with your teammates.
Yeah.
Anybody on your team that wants to build a brand, they want to leverage video to generate leads. They want to leverage video to build a personal brand. They want to master attraction marketing and putting out content. Again, it's way more expensive than $25, but we wanted to do this as a coronavirus special, I guess you could say, or what's it called, pandemic special, and give to a good cause. So we're not making any money on this. So appreciate you guys. All your courses are full of value. I appreciate that. Michaela's signing up now. Awesome. Rebecca, you rock. Dr. Linda says, love this. Good to see you, Dr. Linda. How to not forget what to say in lives. Tips, please. You know, Lynette, for me, I sometimes forget to say things, but what I do is I put together some bullet points. I always have a notepad, because I have 2 cell phones, I actually text message myself my tips. But yeah, you could totally put together 3, 4, 5 bullet points. So that way you stay on topic, right? And you remember not to forget these important elements of your conversation for your training. Anthony is signing up now. Awesome. Ketty is signing up now.
So cool. I love you guys' comments.
Oh,
we love you, Joshua.
After you finish, I will sign up on my PC. Thank you. You are welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, Kathy. Whoop, whoop.
Did that help answer your question? I always have bullet points. I'm always prepared. I think it's so important for us to not necessarily be scripted, but have that content in place.
Maybe Steve remembers.
So John, he's been following me for a while.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But it was powerful, he said. So there you go. It doesn't always matter what you're wearing, but you shouldn't do videos driving. Stacy purchased the special. Awesome. This is perfect timing. I was just getting discouraged in this area, says Cammie. Hey, that's what we're here for. Cindy says, I am in. Love y'all's tips. Has helped in many ways, says Danny. You guys are awesome. I'm signing up too, says Estee Rose.
Cool.
Can you please post the link again? Yeah, it's mylifestyleacademy.com/special. Now, when you respond, is that going to show up on all the platforms?
Yes.
That is sick. StreamYard is money. Lynette said, I'm buying it. Nadya, you're beautiful. Beauty with brains. Joshua, I agree with you. I'm married up. You guys are great. Very informative. I'm definitely getting it after you're done, says Heather. Awesome. It's going to be off the hook. All right. Any other questions before we wrap this up? Y'all are crazy. Look at you hanging out with us for over an hour.
I know. This is a long broadcast, baby. You had a lot to say today.
It's caffeine in my energy drink.
Oh, my gosh. Settle down.
All right, guys. We appreciate you. Renee's ready to take this up a notch.
That's cool.
Technology is everything. When you do that, I can't really read things.
Oh, sorry.
Ready to take this up a notch. Thank you. You are welcome. All right, guys. Listen. Next Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then on another episode of Money Monday. Also, Wednesday, aren't you doing something?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. This is right. We're doing a happy hour with the ladies. We're doing
some lady bosses.
Yeah. And it's going to be like a girls'
You guys should create a
night.
flyer for that.
I know. We're on it today. Wow. Steve says it's 3 a.m. here in Australia.
What's up, Steve? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, so we're going to have Miss Tanya Eliza on. We're going to have Miss Julie Berg, my one of my BFFs, Laura Hardnett. Danelle Delgado is going to be joining us.
Yeah, we need a flyer.
Yeah, we're going to create a flyer. So, ladies, I want to invite you early. I'm going to give you a sneak peek, but essentially...
I'm going to keep it 100, though. I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up together then.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
We appreciate you.
Here.
Wednesday, 5 p.m. It's going to be legit. Lady bosses are going to drop some knowledge. We're out of here.